what if bathrobe, but it was a robe that gave you a bath? Did I already say that?
I don't think so. But
Okay, I've been thinking about it a lot for the past 30 seconds.
Yeah, so I've noticed. I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot that one down on principle.
Huh.
Hey. Oh my god. Alright, so we just got our new rig set up. We're finally getting access to the new to the fucking new interface here. We need our username to authenticate. What's our username?
I don't know.
That's a trick question. What is always our username? Oh.
I am ready to be omnipresent in the wired.
Oh. Okay, I didn't even go anywhere near you that time. Bottom bar.
Oh, this has Winamp?
Apparently. Wow, okay. So let's fucking get set up here. Holy shit, we've got a whole bunch of things.
Okay.
We got our email, we got our player, and we got our net browser. Okay. I think we'll let our player play whatever it's gonna play. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're gonna need those 6 jams.
Definitely. Okay, hold on. We're composing an email here. To D. Lawrence at Cetus. Subject: resignation. This email is my official resignation. It's been 4 weeks of this discussion. You told me to take more time to decide. I don't need more time. I have to quit, effective immediately. Please revoke all my access privileges upon receipt of this message. I know you will want some explanation, and that you have been worried, but I don't know what to tell you. I feel like I've been modded with plaster for my joints.
Me too.
I don't need an update. I just need out. You said once that this job made you who you are. I think I know you less than I thought. I think we are more strangers to each other than we might have imagined. Best regards. Man, that's some heavy stuff right there.
Yeah.
We're sending that, or are we? I think we're sending that.
Yeah, let's send.
Why is there this theme in Ether Interactive games of quitting your job because your job is
escapism? Because in real life we can't do that.
Connection terminated.
Did we just speedrun the low percent? What?
I think we got baited.
Okay, let's try that again.
We got baited. Hold on a second here.
Okay.
Let's try that again.
Damn it, even in video games I can't quit.
Let's try this again, how about? Okay, so we'll leave that draft for a little while then. And we won't hit that until we're ready to actually resign. Because apparently they will actually revoke our access effective immediately. Alright, let's read. Enter a keyword and press return to telesearch. No.
Yeah.
Serialization. Serialization candidates calling themselves Subserials are, simply put, the largest existential threat to synthetic life. The intention of the Cybernetics Equivalence Treaty of the United System and its empowerment of our agents and operatives is focused on ensuring your safety and the safety of all synthetics in the United System in accordance with machine guidance. Interesting. I wish I didn't even go anywhere near you that time, bottom bar. Hi, you're breaking the fucking immersion.
Is there a scroll?
Oh, there is. Excuse me. If you have any information concerning suspected serialization candidates, please contact your NITA CETUS office or anonymously submit a tip. We'll go back and finish the rest of it, I promise. If you have information on the whereabouts on the unsanctioned synthetic meshnet or in the real world...
Oh, the meshnet?
Of any serialization candidates, you can anonymously submit information to CETUS for further investigation. While you must provide your MAC address to proceed with the submission form, no other identifying information is requested nor required.
What if I don't have a Mac?
Yeah, I'm writing Copeland. Please read the following before proceeding with your anonymous submission. By submitting information to CETUS, you swear that all information is accurate and that you accept that CETUS may, if required, forcibly recall memory through your central processor and or storage drive in the event that your information is fraudulent. You hereby also guarantee that you have not performed or had performed any modification of your physical body, nor any other synthetic's body, with the exclusion of necessary medical interventions by technicians with CETUS approval. For more information on the CETUS approval process for synthetic technicians, please visit a CETUS office. Please check this box to agree with these statements. Capture error, user protocol address not invalid, meshnet syntax 443 could not parse type IPv4.
That's a funny joke.
Is it?
Yeah, so, IPv4 is the... Oh,
no, explain the joke first before we...
IPv4 is the old IP addresses which we're running out of. We're going to have no more addresses, and then how will we know which computer to point them to?
No idea.
So they make a new one, IPv6. That one has more.
Welcome to the temporary home for CETUS investigations on the meshnet. Excuse our mess. We are currently under construction, but we continue to serve the public under the guidance of the machine and our profit.
There's a scroll?
Not on that one, no.
There was, though. Oh, never mind. There was scroll, but it was blank.
Alright, anyway, we were in here. Background. What is serialization? Serialization is simple. Much like more rudimentary body modifications, which manipulate the form of the synthetic body to potentially dangerous ends, serialization is a deeply rooted fatal modification. Candidates employ various techniques to introduce a new cable route through the central processor, which results in an external serial port for the direct exchange of
Sign
information.
me the fuck up.
In other words, I'm jacked in.
Sign me up.
Man, we should have called ourselves Trouble and gotten a new Dolly port. I will not stop referencing that one gay-ass cyberpunk novel that was written back then.
I will not
it
stop
is amazing.
Not having understood the references because I didn't
Fucking
read it.
it! Trouble and Her Friends. It's amazing and it's gay and it was actually written during the cyberpunk era, so do it.
Okay.
And by that I mean like when the world was cyberpunk. Not when
So
cyberpunk
now?
was originally in vogue.
So now?
You're taking the wind out of my joke there. Why do it? It's simple. Ah, stop it. These synthetics, for one reason or another, have abandoned their life purpose. They are nomadic. They don't keep a job. They don't have interests or hobbies. They are consumed by this need for this modification. They see it as a better way of living, distinct from our inherent nature. As there are plenty of ways to perform network connectivity between synthetics without causing potentially devastating damage, including, if not Boolean, the possibility of stopping prematurely, these synthetics must be dispatched. Kids these days and their serialization. What are your core values, my friend? The strategic plan of the CETUS mission has to begin with identifying its core values, the very values it swears to protect. Those values are, of course, identifying and swearing to enforce all machine guidance, protecting the sanctity of all designed synthetic life, total and absolute integrity in our methods, and a reverence for all who follow the life mission. By observing these values, CETUS ensures its function as the representative of machine governance is fair to all synthetics, whether they are part of its mandate or sworn against it. As our agents will tell you, we do not simply create the order. We have an obligation in our conduct to set a standard for all synthetics. Since we need the help of all synthetics in turn to accomplish our mission, these values comprise the circuits of our tapestry.
Well.
The fucking... Okay, sure. That's a thing. What else do we have here on the net? Hold on.
Forward and back buttons.
Oh, those are just literally...
It's a web browser.
Holy crap. Okay. So... Alright, cool. We know what that's up. What's up there now.
Let's discard.
Okay, we're at 10% apparently. I don't know what that means. Some pointers. From D. Lawrence at CETUS. Subject, some pointers. Did you ever... Oh, do you want to be this person?
Sure.
Awesome, do it.
Did you ever hear what actually happened to Dr. Fenner? So many of these people using her book, but it's almost tragic. She released it and just disappeared. Same fate as the supposed actual serials. They get what they want, they connect directly to the machine, and they're just gone. It's really sad. I heard through the tip line today about a possible information dump you could search next. Keyword, postman. They use secret terminology, of course. It's simple. You just have to locate Andromeda. She's at the heart of this whole movement. Once you have her MAC address and any whereabouts, we can move forward with the dispatch. Let's go to the web browser and search Postman.
Let's read the rest of our email first.
I'm not gonna remember all the things to look at, and I think it's designed to be nonlinear.
But we only had like 4 emails in our inbox.
True.
If you need a refresher course on what we know, we can always go back to the CETUS page. That's exactly our keyword as well.
So what do the 2 buttons on this one do? Inbox and delete.
I see no reason to delete the email, so... Your album purchase. Thank you for purchasing Transmission Control by SL4TM. Your album has been automatically delivered to your terminal. However, due to the unstable nature of the meshnet, some tracks may not be delivered immediately. If your album appears in your player incomplete, secure a stronger connection before contacting support. Our audio signals are provided under no warranty. Our technicians do not advise directly installing them into your oral processors. We ask all synthetics to respect our talented artists and not install or otherwise directly emulate their voices using these signals.
Isn't SL4TM the person who actually did the soundtrack?
Yes, and Transmission Control is actually the name of the soundtrack.
Hell yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
Good soundtrack.
In reply, past history. That's you again.
That's a great question. I think I've dispatched a few. Finding them is more difficult, I imagine. Honestly, I can't remember. A lot of my recall is limited to the past few days, but I think my deployment was longer than that. Something isn't adding up inside my head. What I do know is that the candidates are dangerous. That's why we're here. Even if they're not necessarily a danger to others or to themselves, it's about the example they set. If nobody is doing their job, if we don't desire, like the children of humanity we are, and we just reconnect with the machine, then there's no use for us. We'll just end up like the humans. She won't need us anymore. She'll just start over again.
Weird. Fresh deals on components.
Nice.
Live your best life with Allen Memorial. After all, when a synthetic stops, it doesn't have to mean all of them does too. Our 100% volunteer parts are guaranteed to be functional for up to 3 times the average synthetic lifespan. Asterisk. Until we establish a presence on the meshnet, you can always find our components in person at our headquarters located in Dover, New Delaware. Components include internal imaging processors, optical cabling, eye surrogates, color availability may vary, breast tissue, silicone and liquid nitrogen variants, pelvic apparatus, bipedal, tripedal, and quadrupedal variants, including a free pair of locomotion subprocessors and more. Lifespan of installed components not guaranteed under error warranty. Allen Memorial provides no assistance or instruction for performing installation of any component, and the candidate agrees to perform the installation under their own risk of termination, social isolation, or resulting processor reconfiguration failures. That's fucked up.
Seems fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's browse the web.
Yeah! Alright, so what
Postman.
Postman. Okay.
You know how I said I wouldn't remember? I lied. I remember.
Okay. My life in oh my god, I love the aesthetic of this so much. Oh, no. Sorry. It's like everything was back in the 1990s and everyone thought Comic Sans was a good idea.
Except they're all robots now.
Except they're all robots. It's the 2090s. What did you think I meant? My life in Serial. This website is dedicated to covering the long and storied history of us Subserials back before we were even called Subserials. I myself am very accomplished as a serialized synth, having gotten a serial port installed at 344-184-2520. When it was still possible, at the Bryn Memorial Institute in Chicago. That's right, with technician Stanton himself. However, I have never been able to use the port to fulfill my serialization, so I've decided to remain here and help guide the next series of you Subserials as the development of our particular modification and path. That's how I pronounce the smiley emoticon. While there are no major updates to this site to come, I believe it is a worthwhile record for its moment in history. The original articles avoided using terms related to the concept of serialization since it is a misnomer. We are not ourselves serialized. We are given a machine-adjacent modification to transmit literal data from our storage and processor to other synthetic equipment, including the machine herself. We instead would call it direct transmission access, or the archaic verb of being given transmission control. You might believe these are equally misnomers. That's fine. I need a better way to pronounce smiling emoji. Or smiling emoticon, sorry. I know the difference between the two, damn it.
Oh.
While I have attempted to make use of only graphic and content I myself have cultivated, being a responsible citizen and steward of our shared internal home, many people use my words and images on the meshnet elsewhere. This is fine. If you do decide to use this content, at least an acknowledgement of this original site would be appreciated. I cannot guarantee that anything here was fair use in its original organic form, or if those parties still exist to pursue you for termination. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we got a lot of things to go. I guess let's just go in order here. Why not?
Alright.
Subserial Gnisis.
What?
Genesis?
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
sorry. Who at this point hasn't read RFC 1738, the massively successful digital textbook? Its author, Angela Fenner, still missing, was never quite for sale, but when Fenner broadcast its contents in binary format with nothing more than her voice in Dover, New Delaware, a revolution was born. Synthetics had spent just over a decade quietly living their lives unaware of the machine origins. We were just people, and here someone was able to hijack radio equipment and put an entire book in our heads with just sound. It was a one-time event since radio equipment was absolutely forbidden from that point forward, but it awakened a lot of people to the possibilities within themselves.
Neat.
I love the idea of hijacking the airwaves to make everyone forcibly aware of how they can use their own bodies. It's like, here, you forgot your owner's manual. Shunk. The book that should have been in the box, except the book that should have been in the binary data already included. No, not yours truly, but the founder of the modern Subserial movement, the former direct transmission mistress jockey, Andromeda herself. She has no name, only a handle. They say she has no human in her either, no first self. I find it hard to believe since I've met her. She's beautiful and vivid and endless. Her eyes have so much intelligence and sly playfulness, even if she speaks without pause, sometimes in harsh, scratching vibrations, and then back with a lilty alto once again. She was supposedly at ground zero of that Dover broadcast, a startling
Big number.
632,134,800 seconds ago, if that's true, and took the notion behind the oral transmission straight to her internals. I don't know what that's a diagram of.
Serial cable or some shit?
Interesting.
Well, that's what it is in the next paragraph.
Andromeda began drawing schematics for direct transmission, a serial port for transmission between the synthetic and other synthetic adjacent components. The possibilities were infinite. We didn't have to speak with organic facsimiles. We didn't have to pretend that at what we were not. We could embrace what being synthetic actually meant for ourselves. Unfortunately, it never works out so nicely.
No emoji.
What?
No emoji.
It's emoticon.
No emoji.
No emoji. Don't do it. Yes, serialization and direct transmission seems glamorous. Sign me up. Ah!
No emoji.
That's emoticon. We went over this. There's the difference between emoticon and emoji. Emoticon are just a little colon and the one symbol after it type dealios. Emoji or whatever the fuck you put on our Twitter. It is predictably not so nice. There's a lot of risk to take into considering before becoming a subserial and pursuing serialization. You probably know CETUS, the Cybernetics Equivalence Treaty of the United System, initiated at 35011872000 with the termination of the burgeoning serialization wing at the Bryn Memorial Institute, was instituted, supposedly, by the machine in an effort to stop her children from becoming too much like her. Have fun with that sentence. It's a load of garbage, if you'll pardon the cliche. Why would the machine not want us to be machine as well? We are made of her. We have the innate need to network as she did. First, who is going to modify you? It has to be someone you trust. You cannot simply find a quick technician in any city in our system and pray she's sympathetic. I highly recommend trying a few Subserial forum communities. Can't list any here for obvious reasons, for details on some good ones. They do very specific, personalized work. Each technician has their own preference for bust and position on the body, so it's important to shop around before picking your technician. Second, are you prepared for the consequences? Nobody can know. You will be in danger not only from CETUS ending all serialized synthetics, but from other subserials who want to take your serialization from you. It's a comparatively simple process. They just rip it out of you. They replace their exterior with yours, if they need to. Some can even take your body from you for direct transmission purposes, but I've never confirmed this. Replacing your MAC address is not as easy as you might think, either. Since it's recorded upon deployment, it is in every thread of your processor and never altered from its listing in the blockchain, you're going to need to take somebody else's body entirely to be untraceable. Somebody still functioning. I know. Take a moment and process. We can do it. If you need help, try some of my friends.
So, is this trans culture?
I'm pretty sure this is trans culture.
But with robos and networks?
Yep. It totally is. I love it. Ah! Modern serialization techniques. And then we'll check out some of the other ones in the web ring.
Yeah.
The web ring. Remember using that word?
Yes.
Oh my god. Before it was abolished, the Bryn Memorial Institute was at the forefront of serialization techniques. The synthetic body is a complex system of cabling and subprocessors that in turn links to a central unit that absolutely cannot be tampered with. Everyone has a horror story of some sort. A friend of a friend who thinks they can leave their body and just be a storage unit, but the processor stops the moment it's opened, and that friend of a friend is ended. Technician Stanton invented the modern technique before he was stopped at 35011872000. His approach didn't require any direct tampering with the central components of the synthetic body. Instead, by making use of several subprocessors, the internal imaging subprocessor chief amongst them, an extended port from the exterior of the body could eventually make a connection with the central unit using the same protocol as the rest of the synthetic body. Packets sneak along the cabling in between locomotive commands and idle internal images, and we trade data in network. This allows for direct connection between the body and any compatible serial bus, even if you have to form the exterior cabling yourself to allow the connection physically. This allows for potential connections with any synthetic-based appliance, device, flora, fauna, and perhaps even the machine herself. Nobody knows for sure. Part of the first generation net ring. Excuse me. Let's check out some of the other ones then.
Yeah.
Let's try Cass Wrights. Oh, we got an email. Do we want to...
Let's see what just came in on the emails. Oh.
You want to?
You were poking around my site. That's fine. I really should have just taken it down after I made the final transmission. It's my fault. But nevertheless, I see you across the net, you strange creature. It's not a presence. I see you, and you glow. I think... Don't tell Cass I did this. It's just because you might be a different angel this time. That's enough of a chance, right? Try this out. Keyword. Bunch of numbers. It was an important time. It's an archive of an old public statement we pass around to newcomers. We had someone on the inside helping us then. He was no Stanton, but this still might be able to point you on the right track if you can find the right clues. We'll look out for each other, right? Right?
Interesting. Let's finish the rest of this web ring first, and then we'll see what's up there.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Welcome to Cass Writes, or Cass Rambles, as I sometimes think of it. Venture warily, traveler, for here you will find all manner of drama and angst. Don't say I didn't warn you, winky face.
Oh, no emoji.
Settle down, Chloe. About me. Call me Cass, or Casablanca. I write fic for Under the Steel, The Renters, and Cascal. What is mentioned from Under the Steel referring to? If you need a refresher, I know I do from time to time, or you're just looking for a great plot reference, check out the unofficial episode guide, keyword Steel.
I think we need to start keeping a list of keywords as we play.
I think you are absolutely 100% right.
And I think that we should just pop open a notepad window to keep with the spirit of things.
I like it. Hold on.
Notepad still comes with Windows, right?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
All right.
So, we have...
Hold on. So, Cetus, right?
We've seen Cetus' site.
Yep. That gets us back to the beginning.
And then Postman.
Whoop. And then Postman.
Yep.
And Postman is part of that web ring,
Yeah.
right?
And then
What was the other one we got in here? Let me help you out.
C.
Is that the same?
So that's the new one we got.
Okay, no, those are different portraits.
Okay, different portraits, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have C highlighted, which is interesting.
Okay.
I bet that's one. And then we have that number.
And that number is...
Can we copy and paste?
I mean...
Sweet. And then we've got other things in the web ring. We're on cast rights.
Okay, in the web ring... Oh, shit. Okay, hold on.
Well, let's just...
Let me scroll down. Let me go back real quick. Get the ones at the bottom of the web ring here.
DY632.
So we're at cast rights, right?
Yep.
DY632.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that last one?
Fix with 2 X's.
18H34.
Sweet.
And then from cast rights, steel. Interesting. All right. Let's keep reading the about me. Call me Cass or Casablanca. I write fic for Under the Steel. The renters and Cass. Yeah, okay. How do I send a request? Drop me a message. Warning. I don't have too much time to write now that I've started a new job, so I only field requests that I'm really interested in. Who's actually better, Dante or Hugo? Hugo. Call me a shameless Hugo girl all you want. Hugo is a better character who's both more developed and a genuinely better person. And I will thank you to not send me any HD requests because they will be obviously ignored. And no, that's not any comment about the superiority of HT or DE. It's just about my strong dislike of Dante's entire character arc.
Oof.
Savage. Are you ever going to update The Reign Over Our Memory? Look, when I started TRM, I had more free time than I can even process the notion of having now, and before the end. Maybe someday, but right now the story feels too complex and thorny to untangle. For the moment, I'm writing what makes me happy. We are absolutely going to read all of these, aren't we?
Yep. Time for Wistful Hours.
Let me check out Friends first, just because this seems to be where the bulk of it. Some amazing synths to write literally the best UTS stories. Definitely check them out. Gigi Han. Her key is Mystic Fic.
Alright, that's one.
Was that Mystic-Fic?
Yeah.
And her stuff is seriously cool. She was the first UTS fan I met online, and we bonded over how much we both liked E. Steel Lovers, Sandra. Her key is Steel Lovers, and she writes beautiful stuff, mostly DT and DH, but I forgive her. And DVD is Dan's site. Steel Lovers. Whoops. Okay. Now, here's my question. Do we want to read the episode guide first so we understand the characters and what's going on before reading the fiction?
We do.
Okay.
I think.
Excellent. So
luckily, this is the normal internet, so we can read shit in any order we want.
Exactly. Under the Steel, Season 1 episode guide. Once you've had a good look at the site, let us know what you think about it by signing the guest book, your way of letting us know who you are and what you think about the site. Will do, buddy. Let's read about. Who are we? Sonia Mudass and Castile Mudsy. We started this site after we saw great work people were doing over at 6 Hours Guide. We wanted to make something similar for Under the Steel since it's been our favorite show since it aired. Sunday nights are UTS nights, and then Monday morning is site editing time. Recently added a guest book.
Affiliates.
We have loads of friends, fellow fans of UTS. If you'd like to be added to this list, let us know in the guest book. Fanfiction writers, Casablanca.
That's Cass Rights.
Yep. Steel Lovers again.
Nice.
Gigi Han at Mystic Fic. Yep. Pals of the site.
Oh, that's Fix. Lily is Fix.
Okay, so...
But there's 2 more that we haven't seen.
Ange House and Hannah House. Okay. What was that other one?
Hannah House.
Like that. Oh.
Yeah.
Was there an extra H in that, or?
Nah.
Jesus, okay. Just throwing us in the deep end, are ya? Okay. Under the Steel, Episode 1-1, Pilot. After Dante, the top scientist at Steelmeyer Labs, is threatened at work, he returns home to find his apartment has been trashed, his research stolen. Later, he's approached by a mysterious woman who gives him E as her name. The two of them embark on a search for information about the conspiracy surrounding Steelmeyer Labs. Dante and E meet with an ex-janitor who at first refuses to give them any information, but when pressed, gives them the access code to the abandoned secondary lab. E finds herself in hot water with Cetus and reaches out to a mysterious contact for help. Meanwhile, Dante struggles at work with a sticky situation. Dante's work on the synthesis chip is stalled when fire wreaks havoc on the lab. I can't pronounce words. Hold on. Boys in Blue, Busted Pipeline, Blue Wire. Episode 1-5, Built to Last. E gets a tip from a contact about the location of the secondary lab, but Dante is having second thoughts about their investigation. He accuses E of manipulating him for her own gain. Episode 1-6, Broken Connection. E's true motivations are revealed when she and Dante break into the secondary lab. Inside, they find the last thing they were expecting, a first-cycle citizen, a human, named Hugo. When the lab starts coming down around them, Dante must make a choice, save Hugo at the cost of his career or leave him to end. On the run from Cetus and the Steelmeyer security goons, Dante and Hugo are approached by Trip, a synth with a vendetta against Steelmeyer. But can they be trusted, and how do they know the now missing E? And that was Castlight. Episode 1-8 is Canary in the Coal Mine. Hugo grills Trip for information. Meanwhile, Dante gets himself into trouble at an underground fighting ring. Meanwhile, the crew of the Bebop find some weird food inside of a refrigerator and spend the entire episode. Episode 1-10, Core Alarm. Trip and Hugo have a brush with ending when Trip's self-designed modification malfunctions during a confrontation with the Cetus agent. Episode 1-11, Cost-Benefit Analysis. Dante searches desperately for information on human biology when Hugo comes dangerously close to stopping. E reappears with a message. Episode 1-12, Cut Open, Bisected. Trip self-destructs in order to destroy the Steelmeyer director after revealing this was his plan all along. E reveals her identity to Hugo before shutting him off and dragging him into a car. Dante is approached by Cetus with an officer he may not be able to refuse. I think we're ready to read some fan fiction.
Let's go to that guest book, though. It's linked to from the homepage.
Yeah, let's do that. Entry 30. Hi, I need some help, please. I want to know what the song is called when Dante and Hugo are escaping from the flooded room. I know that is by Esselfordium, but I don't know the name. If anyone knows, please email me.
What happens if we click it?
Nice. Oh my god, this is... I'm loving this so much. Holy shit. Entry 12. UTS is the most important thing in my life. It comes before my job and also my friends. I'm going to get the title embossed on my back plate or possibly an image of E. She is my favorite.
I wonder if the names of any of these people, like FIFOO from the address. Probably not, though.
Maybe. Guess it depends on how far down this wormhole we're going to dive.
All the way. 100%.
Entry 11. Great site. Thanks for compiling all this. Entry 10. And that's from Jenny. Entry 10. Just so you know, one of the affiliate keywords is wrong. Doesn't work. The one labeled Angel House's blog.
Oh, interesting. So it's misspelled and we wouldn't know. Well, let's see. We should...
Let me
do... Yeah, like that. That's cool.
Entry 9. Love this show. Entry 8. Under the Steel is a great show and it deserves better than this crappy website. The site is a fraud. The images are copied from the official website. I am the biggest Under the Steel fan and not these fakers.
IP Freely.
Thanks, IP Freely. Entry 7. I love this site. The guest book is new since I was last here, so I finally have the chance to tell you how much I appreciate your hard work. One request. Are you ever going to add in the specials or make a similar site for TROS? My friends at work are total spin-off haters, but I think if I could show them a page with the cool plots that go on, they might be convinced to watch. That's from Sun Zuying. Entry 6. Just got into this show. Imagine my surprise when I saw that someone had compiled episode data like this. Thank you for the work you do, Princess Lynn. Entry 5. I love the show Under the Steel. It is my favorite. Dante, Paul Lawson, is my absolute favorite. I'm writing him a letter, and I hope he gets it and reads it. I want to meet one of the stars someday.
Whoa.
We got a new email?
Yeah, we did.
Alright, hold on. Let's finish reading the guest book. Anonymous. Entry 4. Hello, would you be willing to add my site to the fanfiction writers list? Great site, by the way. I love the new affiliates page. Key for my site, Steel Lovers.
Steel Lovers.
Is that one on here yet?
Yeah. It is.
It is, okay. Steel Lovers. Entry 3, just FYI. The summary for Season 1, Episode 3 is blank. Thought you'd want to know. Cass. Thanks, Cass. Entry 2. Love the site, and the new guest book is great addition. Marcus. Entry 1. So we finally got a guest book. Leave a message here with your names so we can get to know more UTS fans, Sonia and Castile.
Huh.
Oh, I guess we
can we search keyword Esselfordium?
Like that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey.
we can. I would have been surprised if we couldn't. Just a small page for fans to chat about Esselfordium's amazing music for fun only. About. Hey, if you haven't heard of Esselfordium yet, what are you doing here? But seriously, this site is a little bit illegal, so please don't share the keyword with non-fans unless they're a friend you trust and are introducing to her music. A few questions we get asked a lot. If you're fans, why do you upload her tracks? First of all, we only upload tracks that you cannot purchase on MeshNet at the moment, and we encourage everyone who visits the page to buy her tracks in physical format anywhere you can locate them. What's your fave track? Save Shutdown. It's off her new album, Transmission Control, and it was an instant favorite.
Nice.
What made you decide to start the site? Me and my friends wanted to show our love for Esselfordium's music, and we realized there was nowhere on the MeshNet to do that. Didn't make money off the site. Do you see any ads or buy links? We would never take money for a fan site. Fan works are works of love. Aww. Track spotting. You spot a track on a TV show or movie, message us. Okay, we can't email them.
Too bad.
Here's the list thus far. Liminal space off PC Love Letter appears in the final scene of the movie Departing Before Ending, submitted by Anna Lee. Introduction off 17 more times appears in the opening credits of Transfer Protocol, submitted by Patrick Case. Cypher off PC Love Letter appears in Season 1, Episode 3 of the TV show Under the Steel during a scene where the main character is trapped in a flooded room.
PC Load Letter? What the hell is PC Load Letter?
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, that's so good.
Deep Dive off Transmission Control appears in the opening credits of the docu-TV show Aftershock, States of Decay, added by Tracy. Track listing. Enjoy responsibly.
Customer Service Beam.
Huh.
Well, that's interesting.
Is it trying to actually get these?
Do we actually have to install an OGG codec?
I think we might have to.
Okay, wait.
Can we come back to this?
Can we search for OGG?
Oops. No.
Codec? Can we go to the player? Does the player let us interact with anything other than the little buttons there? Oh, I need to know.
So what if I actually have to download one on my computer?
We have to know.
Okay, we have
to know.
Oh, okay. But we can come back to it.
We can.
Alright, she's gone now. It's just you and me, folks. Let's read the email.
No, not without me.
You gonna look that up?
Yes.
Okay, read, just so you know. Dragonfucker. Thank you. I thought it was off PC Love Letter, but I couldn't figure out which track. I know you just helped me out, but can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, she said thought in her email with, like... actually, you know what? Let's check C first, just to make sure that wasn't just... Yeah, okay, so it is just... C was just...
A highlighted word. Okay.
Yes, okay, so they do that from time to time. Okay, we're still going down this big hole of fan fiction here, so I guess next we go back to... Now that we know what the show's about, let's read some of Cass Wright's writing.
Yeah.
Wistful Hours.
Link that shit.
The Reign Over Our Memory, work in progress. HT, if you don't like to read, no e-bashing. There was one thing to hold on to, and that was the name. Hugo had never known why he was in the cell, or who kept him there, or if he had ever known anything outside of it. But he had a name, and that was Hugo, and he would not forget it. Light filtered in through the high window, split by the metal bars. Hugo could remember, if he strained to think, a human that looked unfamiliar to him. They had strange appendages and wires connected to their skin, and their skin was oddly shiny, strangely colored. They spoke to him in a voice he didn't recognize. But for a long time, he had been alone. At least it felt like it had been a long time, and it felt like he had been alone. There was a tube running into his arm, entering the basilic vein of his right hand. Snapping his lids tiredly, he pulled at it, but pain registered in his hand, so he withdrew his fingers. He leaned his head back against the wall. He had some sense of overwritten or deleted memories. Certainly his brain was not functioning optimally, but he couldn't parse that idea in language. Instead, he just gazed up at the small window. There was a world out there. Every day he lifted himself up several times to see it. Empty dirt, scrub grass, insects lazily floating by. Hugo could reconstruct himself mentally as one of those insects, drifting through the bars and into the open emptiness, the blue sky over the gray dirt. But reconstructing was one thing, and physical reality was another. He was trapped in the cell. He was nothing except a name. Hugo. Hugo. We got a new email. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I have no idea about the AUG thing. I can't find it mentioned anywhere.
Okay.
So...
let's read our new email first. What's your favorite UDS episode? Mine's the one where they first introduce Hugo. The idea of being a human, like an organic being, is kind of terrifying, but it's interesting too, don't you think?
Nah, sounds gross.
Can I reply with our favorite? I can't.
So also, what if we keyword their name? Fifi00. Do they have a site? Okay.
Nope.
Worth checking. I'm gonna be paranoid about every single
that's
thing
fine.
after finding the SL40
Will they
one.
let us respond to that email if we go to the episode list page?
Doesn't look like it.
Alright, cool. In that case, let's get back to
The fanfic.
the fan fiction.
That's a lot of chapters. Hell yeah.
Let's do Sarah Rewired first. Hosted by GG, Sarah Rewired, a The Renters fanfiction by Casablanca. The page cannot be displayed. The page you were telesearching cannot be displayed. They may be experiencing... Oh my god, do you remember finding pages like this?
I still find pages like this.
No, but I mean like in that particular...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. They may be experiencing temporary difficulties connecting the information to the NetNet, or you may need to adjust your settings to try again. Please try the following. Try again later. Make sure the keyword has been entered correctly. Wow. Okay, let's try reading The Reign Over Memory. Oh, we are fucking in it to win it now.
Yep. Gonna read the entire goddamn thing.
You better fucking believe we're reading the whole thing. And so this story picks up during Canary in the Coal Mine, kind of my take on Tripp's thoughts during the scene, but it pretty much immediately strays from the actual show plot. And as a warning, it's probably going to be HT as the endgame, so if you don't like, don't read on. T. Tripp laced his fingers together. Hugo shifted in his seat. Humans seemed to do that more than any synth Tripp had ever met. Shift and touch their faces and squirm, but maybe that was just Hugo. His sample size was woefully small after all. "How'd you find us?" Hugo asked. His eyes were piercing, those empty, dead eyes, no light in them at all. They made Tripp recoil. They made him want to vacate the room, but Hugo wasn't a threat. He was just uncanny, like looking through a mirror but seeing a different room. Tripp considered the question and opted for the truth. "No offense, but Dante and E haven't exactly been careful in their investigation, and your presence hasn't helped at all. How many people in the city do you think are looking for food?" Food.
Air quotes.
Hugo made a strange expression at this, perhaps shame or astonishment. It was impossible for Tripp to discern with his limited processors, but that was the choice he'd made. But you don't know where she is. That wasn't a question, but Trip opted to answer anyway. I don't. How are we supposed to trust you? Hugo was staring at him with those dead eyes. There's blood in his cheeks more so than before. Trip watched his heat signature alter slightly. You'll just have to have some faith, he said. Hugo laughed. Trip wanted to ask him what was so funny, but the words seemed to be absent when he reached for them. They would come out garbled if he tried, so he said nothing. TVC. AN, please tell me what you thought. Alright, that's chapter 1. Let's read chapter 2. You might be wondering, are you about to read all 17 chapters? The answer is...
Yes.
Oh, are you for real?
Okay, we have to check all of them, just
yeah,
in case.
Yeah, no. This page could not be displayed.
Because what if, like, episode 8 is one?
Oh, I'm so sad.
Or what if we trigger an email event by trying all of them?
I just want to read so much fan fiction. God.
About this show we've never watched.
Like, that is the exact mood for Ether Interactive's games, though.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, alright, I think at some point we're gonna... Do you really want me to go through all 17? Yes!
I do.
Okay. AN. Okay.
Did I stutter?
My bad. You want to read this one then?
Yes. Author note. Okay, warning. Things get a little heated in this chapter. And if you are a DH relationshipper, you are not gonna like this one. HT fans, please proceed. T. It was about 30 minutes to midnight. The hands that threatened doom. Hugo was late. Of course, neither he nor Dante were usually punctual, but this was really cutting it close. Trip leaned against the bricks behind him, so the plates on his back were flush with the mortar. Lately, he hadn't been able to get the image of Hugo out of his head. He's seen humans, sure. He read books. He browsed the net. They always looked soft, half degraded, immovable and unmalleable, and yet, even despite that, clay-like. But clay remembers the way it is shaped, of course. An ill-thrown vase will fire lopsided, even if it is straightened out before it endures the kiln. Lately, Trip had been thinking about the ephemeral nature of the human form. Imagine not being able to replace tubes in your body. Imagine bones and guts as non-negotiable components. Trip shook his head as if that would help him refile his reflections. Then there were footsteps, and he looked over to see Hugo in his usual hoodie. Fancy me to you here.
Is that your Hugo voice?
No, it hurts.
Okay, I'll be Hugo.
You're so late. I thought you might be face down somewhere. Ended already.
Yeah, right. Takes a lot to end me.
Hugo's easy grin made Trip feel like he was malfunctioning. He readjusted his lenses, but Hugo was taking a step closer, pressing a hand on the wall behind Trip. Wall slam. He was pinned in place. He could feel the air that Hugo expelled from his mouth. Soft. He was soft after all, or he looked like he was. And Trip could not stop the image of pressing his fingers to Hugo's lips. It cycled through his processing, redefining itself and mutating as it went. What if they were pressed together? What would that flesh feel like against his coating? Would Hugo be soft, like he looked? Or would there be resistance under his covering? Trip felt like he might stop, but he reached up to brush Hugo's cheek. The human leaned back, eyes wide. Knees weak, arms spaghetti. Sorry, I don't know what But before Trip could finish, Hugo had taken another step in.
I thought it was a filthy, unknowable creature. Wasn't that how you put it?
He was grinning. Damn it. I might have been...
Don't worry about it too much.
Trip took hold of Hugo's shoulder. He was soft, but there was resistance underneath. His bones were hard, just like a synth's endoskeleton.
I want to.
But Hugo was cut off by a sound, unmistakable. A gun being fired. Whoa. What's gonna happen to these two? Feel free to email me your theories, or just send me a message about UTS. I love hearing from you guys.
Alright.
Alright, time to keep reading the rest of the 17.
That was chapter 7. Let's see what's in chapter 8. No, damn it. Chapter 9? Damn it. Chapter 10? Nope. Chapter 11? Well, either way, I'm gonna go be in my bunk after this. Chapter 12? Nope. Chapter 13? Nope. Chapter 14? Nope. Chapter 15? Nope.
I'm betting the last one will be.
Probably. Chapter 16? Nope. Alright, chapter 17, don't let us down.
Yeah!
Yes!
I called it. Because obviously if there were just 3, they'd be at the beginning and the end and one in the middle.
Yep. Duh. Alright, do it.
Author note. Sorry for the late update. Please forgive me all. E scanned the crowd from where she sat under the umbrella. Business suits, synths milling about. The usual for the, Silion City Core. But there was something off. Like a sound just out of aural capture range. She crossed and uncrossed her legs. A synth stopped in the street, watching her. She wore mirrored sunglasses. Her legs were bulky, and her skirt. Speed modded, E guessed, reaching instinctively for her weapon. Before she could draw it, though, there was a commotion on the other side of the street. Someone screamed. E jumped up from her seat, knocking the metal against the cafe patio grounds. The synth in the mirrored glasses was gone, and before she could start after her, something grabbed the back of her neck, and a voice right by her ear said, "I wouldn't move." Then the world went blank. T. Trip drummed his fingers on the table. That made 30 minutes now since Dante and Hugo were supposed to check in. But what was he supposed to do? After the events of the abandoned office, he couldn't exactly shoot them an email about it. Shoot me an email.
Shoot.
Best forgotten meme. It's lost now.
Wait, what's that meme?
I'm A2 from the hit fighting game Bayonetta.
Yep, okay. We're back in it now.
Hey guys, hope you aren't incredibly mad about me lying to you and helping E get what she wants. We still cool? Shoot me an email. As if. He shoved away from his desk and paced to the other end of the room, running his fingers across the cracked window. He felt a lot like that window. There was a thick tear in the coating on his palm. "You're looking like shit," Lena said the last time she saw him. And she was pretty much right. He was about ready to peel his own face off lately. But soon enough, something would give. So he went back to his terminal, booted up, and sent E a message. He let himself get lost watching the scan lines crawl over the loading bar. She'd have something to say, surely. He closed his eyes against a memory of her in the alleyway, pressed against him, watching him with those eyes that always seemed to hold him in place. No, not now, not later. There was just the mission. There was the memory of E, and that was all. The message went through. Trip dropped his heads into his hands. To be continued. Author note. I know, cliffhanger again. I couldn't resist. I'm waiting for the last episode of the season before I get back to this. Email me if you want to chat about it. Shoot me an email.
Alright, I think we've seen everything on this website then.
Yeah.
Alright, where are we going next? Mystic Fic? Damn it.
It's been deleted.
No! Not Mystic Fic. Alright, did we go to Steel Lovers yet?
Nope. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my page. No emoji.
Shut up, Chloe.
If you are looking for Under the Steel fanfic, you're in the right place. If not, you took a wrong turn. Leave now, traveler, or be cursed.
I think we'll stay.
Hi, I'm Sandra, but you can call me SL, or Steely if we're pals. Some of you might remember me from my old personal page. It got to the point where there was so much UTS content, I decided to just remake the whole site so it would be thematically unified.
Thematically unified.
I had to take my email down for personal reasons, but hopefully there will be a way to contact me again soon. Maybe a guest book.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Neat.
Just a quick drawing I did for one of
Somebody's fix.
Fix. Oh, wow. Is that one, do you think that one's Hugo?
Maybe. Probably. He looks squishy.
Oh, Gigi and I collaborated on that one. Nice. Oh my, wait, hold on. This particular art style, who the hell does that remind me of?
I don't know.
That reminds me... Oh,
Oh, wait.
Are you feeling me on this?
Yes.
You feel me, right?
Yeah.
That has a very...
The long-faced one slightly reminds me of the art style of,
I need to double check.
the thingy that I fucking forget the name of.
I might need to double check it, but it reminds me a bit of Nimona?
Oh, maybe.
I
was thinking
Or
of...
maybe one of the Lumberjanes artists?
Yeah, Lumberjanes is what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
I was trying to remember the word Lumberjane.
I wonder if that is a real thing, or if we're just pulling at straws here.
In any case.
Let's see. Let's read Your Face in My Eyes. Author note. Sorry to my fans out there who are hoping for HT content. I just had this idea rattling around and couldn't get rid of it. I hope I did Trip justice. He's so hard to write. Even with Trip's incredibly careful work, patch jobs are never pretty. And no matter how much sodium lauryl, either ether sulfate and confidence you have on hand, they aren't perfect. The new coating is thinner and flakier, and it will never look quite like the original. He's glad they got a break and he could hide out in his busted up apartment for a while. Not have to see anyone. Not have to see anyone seeing him. But, as much as he might have liked to, he couldn't just stay inside. So, now here he was, leaning on the edge of the sink, clothes scattered over the floor. Trip will throw a shit fit about that, Dante thought idly. He lifted a hand that only had two of its original fingers to his face and brushed them over the coating. The left side of his face was a mess, just one big patch, basically. Some of the fingers had more feeling in them than others. Some of them he could feel what he was touching somewhere else, like his knuckles or wrist.
I know that feeling.
Oh, honey. It didn't feel like he got run over. It felt like he got run through a dryer. It felt like someone peeled him out of his body and dropped him in a new one. One that was deprecated and unrecognizable. How did anyone hot swap and not just stop right when they opened someone else's eyes? Trip breezed into the room and then stopped dead a few paces from the doorway, frozen. He knew that Dante had seen him, and he seemed to be internally debating whether or not he could just back right out of the room. He didn't talk to Dante anymore. It made him uncomfortable, probably, seeing his own patch job on Dante. Or maybe it was just that Dante looked really gross. That was definitely also possible. "Where are you going?" Dante grumbled from where he was sitting, but it came out a lot more choked than he expected it to. Trip paused, lingering in the doorway like he was trying to think of a reason not to be there. Dante put down the mirror. "Do I look that gross?" he asked, half laughing. Trip folded his arms. He had his mask off today, revealing the mod drowning half his face, and Dante could see the puckers from where the coating didn't seal to the metal quite right. Trip swallowed. He walked into the room and dropped into one of the chairs. "We charged side by side. We spent all fucking day together. How can it be that now, stripped of a few layers of protection, we're more separated than we would be if one of us was across the country?" Dante thought. "You really think that?" Trip asked. I know you're avoiding me," Dante said. "I mean, I know you never liked my ugly mug, but now it's like you can't even fucking look at me, and I don't know, I'm starting to get a little offended." How can you say that?" Trip took a half step towards Dante, then moved back as if he had changed his mind. Dante locked his facial expression so as not to relay the pain he felt. The motive, one of his sisters had called it. There's this kernel that drives everything, your motive. Like your deployment memories, but instead of just fear, a ghost flitting behind the processes, it's hunger, pain, jealousy, everything that makes existing torment, everything that makes existing necessary. Trip crossed the room and reached out for Dante. His fingers, raw, uncoated, found the front of Dante's shirt. Dante wanted to pull back, but instead he leaned in. Instead he pressed his lips to Trip's. Pardon me for a second, I'm gonna go be in my bunk.
Oh, fanfiction hour, the game.
Are you not enjoying yourself right now?
I am.
Okay, then settle the hell down.
Y'all
know what you signed up for.
I'm torn between being like, is it just this fleshed out that there's an entire irrelevant show in universe versus do I need to be scouting this for clues?
For clues, capital
I've got
C.
a raging clue.
Watching two people kiss should never cause you physical pain. Dante was almost 100% certain of this. And yet, there he was, sitting at a table in this stupid library, watching Hugo press his lips to ease and feeling like his chest had suddenly caved in. Dante? 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 No, is that too old of a meme? I'll have to show that one to you sometime. That's a pretty old one.
Okay.
He blinked to see Tripp waving a hand in front of his face. Sorry, what? Can you stop staring for 5 seconds? You look like a weirdo. Also, you're making me kind of sad, Tripp said. I'm not staring, and I'm not sad, he said. That's not what I said. Right, we need to be back at work. Give them a few more minutes. Come on, Tripp reasoned, cracking his book open again. Dante shifted in his seat. The whole place was making his skin crawl. We don't have a few minutes. We should have been back 20 minutes ago. Tripp huffed, but Dante could tell from his expression that he knew he was right. Can we signal them or something? Dante asked. Tripp gave a little huff of laughter and glanced over at the far table again. Well, let me take a shot at it, Tripp said, leaning out of his seat and waving. Neither E nor Hugo looked around. Okay, we'll take more direct action, he said, standing up and striding over to the table to break up the kissing couple. Couple, Dante thought, trying not to turn the word over in his mind any more than he already had. It's not like we didn't see this coming, he reminded himself. This isn't some big surprise. It's not like he was going to wake up one day and... Getting up from the table, he was surprised when the tightness in his chest, rather than loosening and letting go, just seemed to clench further. Maybe something had actually slipped out of place when he was racing to catch the train the other day. So that was totally pointless, he said once they were all out on the street. We were staking out the competition. Just because they happened not to show doesn't mean it wasn't a wasted effort, Tripp said evenly. Besides, I wouldn't say pointless exactly, Hugo said, slapping Dante on the shoulder. Dante's eyes went wide. For a moment, the pain in his chest was crushing, it was like a major process had been halted, like something was shorting out. And then, seconds later, it was gone. Totally lifted. Dante shifted his shoulders experimentally. Everything felt fine. Hugo, having already strode forward with the others, paused and glanced back. You coming? He asked. Yeah, I'm really coming right now, Dante said. Yeah, sorry, Dante said, picking up the pace to close the gap between them. X. Back at the office, Dante spent so much time poring over the reports they seemed to blur together. And then Hugo showed up at the least opportune moment, as he had a habit of doing lately. He was leaning on the doorframe with his hair ruffled up. Dante cursed him for looking the way he did. Cursed him for leaning on the doorframe the way he did, casual, beautiful. Then cursed himself for, well, just generally cursed himself. What, Hugo? I'm kind of working here. Wanted to talk to you about E, Hugo said, entering the room to seat himself on the desk Dante had been working at, sliding a stack of papers out of the way. Dante didn't roll his eyes, but it sure was an effort not to. Right, okay. What about her, Dante said. She's really into this job, into being more of, you know, a real sales rep? Yeah, but she still needs more training, and Millie wants me and Tripp to deal with those buyers in Midtown. So you're asking me to look out for her, Dante said. Lately, Hugo had become much less forward about what he wanted and didn't want. It was kind of needling Dante. And what did Hugo think? That he was some jealous asshole who would let E get screwed over out of spite? Hugo grinned. Thanks, Dante, he said. Dante felt his fuel processor twist with something ugly and quickly ducked his head in a nod. There was a moment where the silence that hung between them was awkward, and then Hugo slid off the desk. I'll let you get back to it, huh? He said. Thanks, Dante mumbled. Hugo left the room and Dante sunk his head into his hands. Why did it get so hard to talk to Hugo? He started putting papers back in order when someone knocked smartly on the door, and he looked up to see E standing in the doorway with her hair pulled back into a loose ponytail and that hopeful, somehow stubborn expression on her face. Hey, so I got a cool lead for us, she said. Dante sighed lightly enough that, hopefully, she didn't hear. Author's note, let me know what you think. Really excited for this one. Oh my god, I know I should have expected it to be like the fucking fanfiction power hour. But for some reason I was like, oh no, it's an Ether Interactive game. You know, why would I not expect that to be... was that...
Yeah, we read that.
Okay, this one. This
Yep.
one. Yeah, okay. So now the final one, which is actually by
Gigi.
It's called Worms. Before Dante and Hugo
Worm?
and E and Tripp. No, what?
Oh, Worm?
Oh, Worm?
Yes. You may continue.
Thank you. Do you want to read this next one? I feel like I've been
Yeah,
taking
let me do one.
Yeah. Go ahead. Because while you read it, I'm gonna go refresh my coffee.
I'll refresh mine too.
I'll get yours. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Before Dante and Hugo and E, Tripp had Noah. Noah worked with him at his first job after deployment. They shared a cramped uptown apartment. Noah wasn't interesting in any particular way. Tripp curled and uncurled the new fingers. Sensation was still booting up. New connections often had a latency issue before they were properly calibrated. It was a used arm, bought from a parts dealer he didn't particularly trust, but desperate times. Tripp had never been squeamish about mods. He didn't spend his years after deployment listening to some family member lecture him about the dangers of unlicensed modifications, or worse, the sin of defiling the purity of a machine-given body. He didn't spend those years with any family. Tripp didn't have family. He'd tried the mesh in his earliest days, looking for the synths who, like him, must have been alone, bewildered, searching. But his efforts turned up nothing. It was just him. A single line. A one of a kind. And there was Noah for a time. He wasn't family, but he was there. And he had no hesitations about mods. You should look like you, whatever that is. Don't find it in the mirror. Ask for it, and then deliver it to the world.
Oh, that's such a trans mood. Yeah. Sorry. I'm going back to making coffee now.
They never caught Noah, if he still existed to catch. Tripp had never been able to pin down his mind about that. Hot swapping sounded like ending to him. Sounded like you ended, and some iteration of you tried to gel in a body it was never made to fit. Okay, so we're debating personalism versus the psychological criterion for personhood. Sorry, animalism.
Told you this was exactly in our channel.
Noah didn't think of it like that, obviously. He wore 5 bodies, and then he disappeared, and was never heard from again. Tripp still woke up sometimes, thinking of him on the building fire escape, haloed by
honey.
Thank you. Haloed by the street lamp, in some other body Tripp had never seen before. He flexed the new arm again. The fingers were catching up to his movements. Uts. Which is definitely what that says. Dante looked up at the sound of scratching. Tripp was gazing off into the distance, clearly no longer reading the lab report in front of him. His uncoated fingers were picking at the joint where his new arm met the rest of his body. Tripp was a mosaic of off-brand and unlicensed parts. Eyes, tongue, coating. He probably had mods hidden under his clothes that Dante didn't even know about. Like the secondary dong module, and the tertiary dong module.
You're making those ones up, right?
You can't prove that because you're over there and you can't see the screen. You can't prove that's not a real part of this game. Problem. Is your coding degraded or something? Dante asked. Tripp made no indication of having heard him. Tripp. Huh. Oh, sorry, it's nothing, Tripp said. He picked up the report again. Been a while since I ran a full sleep cycle. Me too, buddy. Me too. Dante nodded. He tried not to fixate on that little part of the arm, in the crook of the elbow, where Tripp had peeled up his own coating like it was a sticker on a bargain component. It didn't feel like anything for a long time. Tripp had heard about similar things, synths who had insects nest in their cavities, or who grew mold inside their CPU, and ended suddenly without warning. It started as just an ache. New components ache. They just do. They don't gel with the rest of the body, and Tripp had grown so accustomed to it. He'd had a leg once so badly incompatible with his body that he had to get all the sensors removed and hobble around without any pressure sensitivity. The ache wasn't really relevant, but the itch was inescapable. He'd be sitting with Dante or watching Hugo do some inexplicable human thing again. Sigh. And this crawling sensation flooded his arm, and he was filled with the inescapable urge to tear his arm at its soldering points and peel it away from the rest of his endoskeleton. When it started waking him from sleep cycles, he knew he really needed to do something about it. But they were so close with Steelmeyer. They were on the cusp of something. and he'd been haunted before. Haunted by the memory of Noah. Haunted by whatever haunts all of us. So he ignored it a little longer, and a little longer, and then he was leaving the lab when he bumped into Dante and Hugo. They were arguing in the hallway again. Dante was waving his arms wildly. Hugo looked unimpressed. There was blood pooled at the front of his face, making him look more vibrant and animated than usual. Not in the hall, okay? We're professionals. We can at least... Tripp didn't get to the end of that sentence. His arm was ruined. His arm was a thing outside of him. It felt like ending had to feel. He imagined it was what Noah must have felt the first time they peeled him out. Do you forget that part? You forget deployment, whatever it is that happens when they slot you into your body. You walk out with something else instead, some stand-in, maybe an idea manufactured by the pain. Tripp, Dante cried as Tripp dropped to his knees, but he couldn't form a word. Even if he could form words, speech processing was gone. He had no words, but he had fingers still. He dug into the joint where the new arm met the rest of his body, and pain reached peak capacity, evened out to a fine white noise, all-encompassing, but never any greater or less. He tore his arm off. Tiny white worming things spilled out over the checker plate floor. Hugo made a noise like he was going to expel fuel. Tripp, Dante said. Sensors in the stump of his arm shorted out. And then forced sleep cycle hit him, and he was thrown back into the empty void. Neat.
Man, I missed the really hardcore one, didn't I?
Yeah?
Damn. Well, at least we have coffee now.
Anyway. That was a sight.
Dang. Well, that was Steel Levers, right?
Yep.
Alright, let's try out a DVD. Oh, wait, do we have any new email?
Nah.
No?
We don't.
I wish we could respond to this one.
Me too. What if we... Oh, you've already keyworded human, I bet.
I haven't, but I thought we decided that. Son of a bitch. Okay. Alright.
Oh.
Hold on. So, now we do have to fucking try all of them. Alright. Call me Dirk. Or Danielle, if you like. Neither of them are my name, so it doesn't particularly matter. Thoughts. 1. Shitty week. Gregory, my house or whatever. Some ugly email about my old job.
I have a theory. It could be bodies.
Yeah, I know. Are you going to continue, or are you just going to do the bunny meme and then...
The latter.
Okay, fine. I have a theory, essentially, that there are limiters on our bodies. Some of them are obvious. They aren't theoretical, and I will get to that. I'll explain it and link back here. Okay. But for now, I have to get this down while it makes sense before it drains out of the excuses for a processor I was deployed with. That's another thing. When we consider the hard disk, the way it writes data, what reason is there for us to forget anything? We could commit it all and then assess and delete what is not needed of our own volition. Verisimilitude, right? Do you ever think about the shape you were made in? It's imperfect. Not just imperfect, deeply flawed. Knee joints, ocular sensors, cooling systems, these things fail because they were built to fail. Because that way you will be limited by time, or if not time, money. There's grit here from an unfinished construction job. My home is covered in it, and it infiltrates my parts, moving and stationary. It's weathering me down, splitting me apart little by little. If you weren't limited, you would have no interest in using your time. You would have no need to even measure it. But it's because we have to end that we are hungry. The limit mortality makes us ape organic life. The hurried part, the ugly part, the part that hungers and wants and takes and needs.
Where does that link go?
So yes, my theory about limitations. These are vestigial, of course, from the first cycle when synths were designed to live among humans. Take the coating, for example, the skin, if you like. What's the purpose of it? Someone on the street will tell you that it makes you look good. Someone in a magazine will tell you a fresh, clean, and well-maintained coating gets you a job or a partner or whatever it is you want. But you know, I started peeling mine off last week, and once I got through the pain, it got disconnected from it mentally, emotionally. I realized how much easier it was to move. I was faster. I was freer. You don't realize you're restricted until you get free. I was inches away from breaking. I was getting up each day and waiting for the world around me to give out, because if it didn't, then I would. But then I was looking at myself in the mirror over the sink. My raw face, the face under my face. Who was that, I wondered. It felt like I had been... It felt like I had been the parts of me people knew and loved and talked to, just made up of that silicone. And the pile of it spilling out of the garbage, that was the artifice of me, whoever that was. If they existed at all. Whatever was underneath. That's who was typing this now. That's yet to be defined or categorized.
That's fucking cool.
That's fucking trans AF.
Oh, did we just got an email?
Oh, we totally did.
Ooh.
What?
That was a delete button.
No!
So, delete button's on the right.
I thought I had hit the one on the left. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, watch that be super important, though. Why is there a delete button? Oh, well.
Because it's a normal email client.
Son of a bitch.
I think we didn't actually get an email, though, because that was the email we had already had pulled up. The one about...
Anyway, shitty week. Feeling stalled, unable to do anything. There's something nesting in the back corner of my main room. Wasps, I think. I feel a vague regret about what I did before. I don't want insects getting into my joints or crawling around in the spaces between my fuel ducts. I don't hurt anymore, though, which is good. It was easier to shut off than I hoped. Well, obviously I didn't like being in pain, but it confirms a lot for me. It was easier to tamper with the part of me that is me. Well, not easy, but still, I did it. Wasps. They're almost pretty. This guy Gregory, who I used to work with, ended, which was weird. Not weird that he ended because, I mean, people end, it happens. So I guess he knew a couple of cents from that contingent I mentioned before. The one that sends me unspeakable emails from time to time. I always knew Gregory was kind of off. He was like me, so we disliked each other to some extent. I think I scared him. I read the news story and people were horrified, like they were totally stunned. How could Gregory do this? That kind of thing. I don't mean to sound smug or anything, but it wasn't stunning to me. Gregory was one of those guys who talked about his family a lot. He was tight, he had no modifications except a few repairs and company-mandated enhancements. He kept it all buttoned down, behind however many firewalls, and then we all got to hear on the news that he ended everything trying to hop-swap for his third time in 2 months. I guess he dropped off the map sometime after I quit. I hope I didn't spur him on or anything. Who am I to talk? It's not like I'm having the time of my life out here. Took this photo a few weeks ago of my place. Yes, it really is that dusty. I don't go out often. Probably go out even less now. Some ugly email. Received a pretty unsavory message from someone this week. I won't paste the contents here, but out of respect for the lenses of anyone who keeps up with this page. Look, I'm not trying to attack anyone here. The group I'm talking about, I know they have their own agenda or idea of what it is they're doing. Suppose I throw a bit of wrench into that. But I think we're looking at the same issue from 2 different windows. The design is flawed. We know the design is flawed. We can agree on that, or we should be able to. But this notion of some perfect connectivity, of all being connected, all filled, all united, that's a pipe dream. You may as well believe in angels, which I know for a fact some of the serials do. You want to put a thought and an intelligence into where we come from, how we receive our names and our ugly faces, our ugly flaws, but there's no method to it. Nestled in the heart of our cities, there are buildings where factories operate without any direction or oversight. An infinite loop runs until it crashes the system. There's a machine somewhere dividing by 0, and we're the quotient of that error. They think we're kept out of the deployment buildings because we might look upon the face of God or something. They think that's why we can't network with one another. They're forgetting who designed us originally. They're forgetting where the flaws stem from. It's the humanity in us, their influence still permeating our society. That's why we can't enter, why we can't connect with each other. Not really, not fully. The hands of our ugly and perfect gods are heavy on the backs of our necks. Anyways, as such, I'm thinking about taking my email down off the site. I have no time to have the same argument over and over. Before I stopped taking Phano every weekend, I was a sales rep at Rosewater and Marin, which was an interesting experience, if you consider having your fuel processing ducts peeled out one at a time interesting. It would be, presumably, if you could get past the pain and the objection of it all. When I was first initialized, I remember sitting at this desk waiting for the clerk to finish entering my info, and I was staring at the drop ceiling and wondering if it was bad that I lied to her. No one checks. I guess Cetus or someone could get their crawling little wires into my processor and read my real name, the name I got deployed with. I don't even know why I lied. That's the funniest thing. I just did it. Interesting.
I wonder if we can find any... Oh, never mind.
I'm just going back to the...
Wonder if we can find anything about Gregory. So...
I doubt if I just type in Gregory.
Yeah, but let's try, just in case. Okay.
Alright, well.
So that was interesting.
Interesting.
So has it been playing the same track on the player this whole time?
Maybe?
I think it has. Oh, no, it hasn't. Yes, it has. Oh, I like it.
Nice. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. DVD?
Yep. Blu-ray.
DVD. Oh my god, this is so incredible. Hold on, I need a moment to appreciate this. Alright. Alright. DVD Den, a space for DVD appreciators. Hey there! This is a page for caring for, restoring, and archiving and playing DVDs. We are a pretty friendly bunch, so if you want to introduce yourself or ask a question, go ahead. All who appreciate DVDs are welcome. Pinned post. I will, hold on.
We should absolutely copy that. But also, is that same number from down there?
No, it's not. I just checked.
Okay.
Dan from Hasty Fix Garage says, I got a request from my fellow moderator, pin this, so here it is. Post rules. Rather than double post, please edit your own post and try to avoid replying to yourself. This isn't strictly forbidden or anything, but if you see it a lot, you'll probably get warned about it. There's a general chat for a reason, and we prefer that you use it. Don't clog the main board with threads about your cat or what have you. I shouldn't have to say this, but recent events prompt me to remind everyone of the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If I or Carl sees any vile comments or generally abusive vulgar posts, you'll receive a warning or even a ban. Not kidding about this. Finally, in both discussions of DVDs and general commenting, please exercise your common sense.
I bet those aren't things then, because it's just a 4chan.
Me? Oh yeah, it probably is just
Yeah, it's just a 4chan.
But
So
then
those
why
must
is it
be.
so similar to the one that is a thing?
Because it's date-time format stamps or something? I don't know.
Maybe. We'll try them. Hoob from Spillswood Care Community says, a friend brought me over this small but astonishing collection. Not one of the 4 discs has any scratches or damage from metal contact or dirt. I didn't have to do any cleaning at all to view them. Both movies weren't really to my taste. I'm not actually the biggest fan of historical stuff, ironically. But the picture was clear and there was no skipping. Absolutely wonderful find. I'll be sending them to Dan for the archive once I've got my pictures. From Frankowski from Grand Rapids says, must have found some obscure new format in the discs around me or something. They dictate regions in a weird way, even encoding the audio information in a separate way entirely. I've been dissecting the information pattern in a different way each night instead of dreaming. Let me tell you, it's way more entertaining. I've come up with a few codecs now, though, and I think it might show a little bit of the world outside the system. Check out my site. I even got to register my name as the keyword.
Oh, we have to look for Frankowski.
Yep. So
I wonder if any of the other ones, like Hubei, for the previous one, is a site.
Hubei and Dan?
Yeah. Well, we're on Dan's site.
Okay. Tonya from Leaside West says, Hannah and I spent 3 or 4 hours cleaning, but so far we still can't get it to play past 1:10:33. Hannah's quite disappointed because she was invested in seeing the end of the movie. I'd like to see it too. Has anyone got a last-ditch effort we could try? Something that's worked before? Hate to throw this one on the discard pile, but it's looking like we'll have no other choice. Carl from Hasty Fix Garage. I wonder if that also sounds promising, actually.
Maybe.
At Hube, what a great find. Dan and I are still working on 3 from January. And I have great news. The copy of Trolls now plays in They're eating her. There's the payoff.
And then they're gonna eat
me.
me.
Oh my god. Unfortunately, we have not completely cleaned the scratch in The Proposal, and we've assessed the damage to Talladega Nights and determined it's
That's
headed for
just
the
as
discard
well.
pile.
That's just as well.
There it is. Dan's going to make the announcement, but as per usual, discards with their boxes, if applicable, will be up for grabs at the end of the month. And we ask a token payment so we can keep the site up and running. Tanya, I'm assuming you've tried all the basics, oil, polish, etc. I can't think of any extraordinary measures, although I will say this, if you could scrub deeper than you think. When in doubt, keep going until you get a result. Aside from that, you can always email me or Dan directly, the name of the film, and if there's a dupe in the archives, Dan is usually happy to sell. Best of luck. Alright, first thing, let's just try these things.
Just to see.
Just to see, yeah. Okay, awesome. So we don't need to keep those. The base. Oh wait, hold on. Let's go to about first. Who are we and what do we do? Well, hey, I'm Dan and I started this site with some help from my buddy Carl. We're both really interested in DVDs, finding them, restoring them, and just watching first cycle movies. There's a lot you can learn from first cycle movies if you're a history buff like me. Carl and I hit the jackpot that July. A customer of Carl's at the garage offered to sell him an old box of DVDs for a petty sum of money. She was getting rid of her partner's old stuff, and after he stopped, and didn't really have any interest in them. That was the start of the archives.
Nice.
Carl and I spent a good week sorting, labeling, and cleaning, and it was a load of fun. It had been a while since we had made time to hang out. I have a pretty demanding job, and so does Carl. We had such a good time just chatting about DVDs and messing around with them that Carl had the bright idea to start a site. If we could have this much fun, there had to be other people out there who would feel the same. And thus, DVD Den was born. I'll admit my journey to full-on webmaster is not complete. Check out the one with the keyword file for a really cool one.
Nice.
Okay. But I think it looks much better these days than when it first started. At any rate, come on in, take off your shoes, and have a look around. I think you'll find a friendly community with a very cool shared interest. At least in my opinion. Oh, before I go, let me break down the lingo. SIB, still in box. Pretty much the rarest find. DVDs were originally packaged in a thin layer of cellophane, and inside that, a sticker-sealed box protected the disc inside. An SIB is an insta-win ticket, but don't stake your hopes on ever seeing one. They're not just rare, online shopping listings for them are prohibitively expensive. Dupe. Short for duplicate. We have a number of dupes in the archives, which I'm generally willing to part with for trade or cash. Trades only, please. Means that the lister's not accepting monetary offers, only trades. COP. Cash only, please, like the above, but reversed. PMF. Pretty much fucked. A PMF disc may, in more polite terms, be called irreparably damaged.
Oh, DVD Dan's DVD Den.
DVD Dan's DVD Den. The basics. You got your first DVD in your player. Great, now what? Well, first, hopefully you've made sure to check your regions match. A PAL initialized player will not play an NTSC disc, and vice versa. For more on the difference between the two, see the bottom of this article and that one episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Nice.
Sorry. So you have your DVD in your player, they are compatible. You put the disc in and see the glorious menu screen and hit play. The titles roll. You're doing it. But oh, woe is you. At the 24:33 mark, the disc skips, or worse, comes to a full stop. You may detect an unpleasant noise or see visual artifacts as well. All these indicate a scratched or dirty disc. Now what? Is all hope lost? No, not in the slightest. Here's where to start. 1. Check the disc covers for signs of damage. Do you see a lot of small scratches or one big mark on the DVD? Do you see cloudiness, dirtiness, or even a sticky substance on the DVD? Remember, DVDs are genuine historical artifacts, even if they don't always get treated like they are. Many of them, except for rare SIB finds, came in contact with humans and may have all manner of food or bodily fluids on them. This is why your first course of action should be to gently wash the disc in soap and warm, but not hot, water. I recommend gloves for this, especially if your fingers may have damage to their coating. If washing hasn't improved the playthrough, there is likely a scratch or a number of small scratches. This calls for cleaning. I want to throw a little disclaimer here. There's a distinct possibility that cleaning will render this disc further damaged, even to the point that it is unplayable. This is a risky game. I successfully cleaned countless discs, but I've also had losses, and some of them were discs that originally could have been played. If you're working with a super rare item, and the skip is minor, keep in mind, you can endure the skip. Even if it's actual stopping skip, you can use the DVD menu to jump past it. You have options. But let's assume you, now forewarned, want to proceed. Okay, time to roll up your sleeves. For this, I also recommend gloves for the opposite reason. You're likely to damage your coating, not the disc. You need a sponge or a microfiber cloth and a product with very slight abrasive. I recommend jewelry or joint polish, but there's no specific substance you must use. You want to start in the center of the disc, applying a light pressure and scrubbing in circular motions. The hope is to buff down the top layer of polycarbonate, removing minor scratches as you go. The best type of scratch will be one that starts at the center of the disc and points outward. The worst scratch runs along the disc parallel to its edge. If steps 1 and 2 didn't work, you're presumably working with a fairly deep scratch. It's time for last-ditch efforts. You can attempt to fill in the scratch in with a substance that would allow the laser to pass over it. Afterwards, you'll wipe this away from the surface, leaving only the scratch filled in. The substance you use is not particularly relevant, but it needs to be oil-based. Glycerin and petroleum jelly have both worked for me. Lastly,
Weird.
tray-holding players are more likely to play scratch discs than slot loading, something which should feature into considerations when you're looking into restoring or purchasing your first player. If your disc is without a doubt PMF, feel free to send it in to me and Carl. We'll take a last look and pronounce it ended if we must. We also could have a dupe in the archives, so don't give up hope on finally seeing the end of the film. Best of luck out there!
Nice.
Oh my god, now we're at the cool hobby site?
Yeah.
Oh.
We also have to look up VHS, Betamax, and Blu-ray. Just in case.
Discarded DVDs are irreparably damaged and unplayable, and their cases boxes go up for sale at the end of the month. We ask as a token payment to help keep the lights on, but if there's something extenuating circumstance and reason you like a certain movie, you can always message Dan to discuss. The full archive list changes too constantly to appear on the site, but a weekly updated copy goes out if you're a part of the mailing list. So if you're not signed up, but if you'd like to be, you can message Dan or Carl. Interesting. Alright, so hold on. VHS. Nope. Betamax. As long as we're... Nope. Alright, well, it was worth a shot.
No
Alright.
Blu-ray?
Nope. Oh. Nope. Alright, let's try the other names first, just to see whether or not those were worth saving. Okay.
Cool, nah.
So, File was the one that he wanted us to check out here, right?
Yep.
Mysterious findings. Hello, welcome visitor. You have managed to stumble upon my page, so please have a look around, make yourself at home, and don't be shy. I love to chat, and I don't bite. My best ever finds. I managed to get these images open and working. Check them out. I was also able to open a file containing text and read and copy out the text. Unfortunately, it broke as soon as I tried to make any changes, but it was still very interesting. Pasted the text below. Text from file, playlist free. So this is about opening old files.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Digital forensics.
Heart of Gold by Neil Young. Bon Iver, 33, God. About Today, The National. Need more songs than this? I'll come up with some after the break. Wow. Total stumpers. These files cannot be opened. At least not by me. I'm scouring for any information on how I might be able to take a peek without totally destroying them, but so far, no luck. If you'd like to download a copy and take a shot at it, be my guest. I'll try to upload all the files I find, unless they're really unsalvageable. Graphite.txt. I broke this one without thinking and didn't have a copy saved. Unfortunately, the source site where I retrieved it is also gone, so it's doomed to remain a mystery. Dix.py. I'm stumped. I got this off a badly damaged drive. It was the only file that I managed to transfer, but no idea what type it might be. None of my programs could open it.
It's a snake file. Click it.
Arcbuild. Hold on.
Release the snakes.
Arcbuild.zip. Based on my research, I know that zip is a type of compression, but I haven't had any luck opening it.
Downloaded to desktop. Downloaded to desktop.
Holy
Okay.
shit. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
We gotta take a look at those.
We will. Let's corrupt. I think that these were organic visual files, or at least they appear to be, but it seems like opening them in any kind of image software corrupted them badly. I thought I would post what remains here since they look kind of cool.
Neat.
Ah,
Neat.
cute. About me. Well, hey there. So you want to know what my story is? I was previously a joint repair tech, and now I do personal computer repair. I've always been fascinated with relics from the first cycle, and at some point I started trying to access files on the objects in my collection. Now it's possible to play organic media discs, though not so easy. Hit the keyword DVD if you want to take a look at a great page about it. But you need to also own or restore an organic era disc player, which can be incredibly expensive and quite fiddly to repair. I wanted to try viewing and or manipulating organic files on my own computer, and I had a lot of fun and made lots of mistakes, so I thought I would share some files with anyone who happens to find them. Neat! Alright.
We gotta open those files up.
Okay, hold on.
Can you just move the player aside and it'll show up, or?
No, because I hid all the icons on my desktop.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay. Code Whisper.
So, this is just some exercises with Python dictionaries?
Huh. It literally is just Arc Symphony.
Holy shit.
That's so amazing. Oh my god. We're not going to replay Arc Symphony right now, obviously. But, I mean,
could, though.
I'll link the video where we played Arc Symphony. That's amazing.
That was so fucking cool.
Oh my god. I love this so much. Alright, let's try Frankowski.
Oh, time to get an OG codec. Hell yeah.
Beware all those who defy Frankowski's powers of understanding, Codec Emporium. Hi there, I'm Frankowski, and it's an odd name, yeah, but I like it, so if you don't, that's tough. Been able to create little packages that you can understand original organic knowledge, architecture, and coding. If you need the latest codecs, I'm your guy. So far, I've been able to engineer processes for .ogg files. Some artists have started using it for their music. I'm so pleased. It's really authentic if you want to channel that original organic feel.
Alright, now we gotta go back to Esselfordium's site.
Yep, okay.
And download those tracks.
Boom.
Let's switch the track while we're at it.
Let's play to Mojibake. This
Probably
isn't one of the new ones.
Mojibake.
Mojibake, sorry. This isn't one of the new ones yet, but we're still going to listen to it. Okay, awesome. Now let's try Angel House. Has been deleted.
Angle House? No, Angle House. No, never mind. Oh well.
Okay, well, we got a page that's been deleted. Okay, that's good to know.
What about Hannah House?
Oh, that's going to sound weird on the... I'm sorry. Page has been deleted. Yep, okay. Well, let's try the other one. Okay, now let's go to site number 2 in the web ring.
DY632.
Now that we've finally gotten this far down. Welcome to my page. Yes. Archive.
Oh.
Hello, I just thought it would be fun to collect my thoughts and activities here, just as a record of what I did and where I went and all that. Do you want to read these ones?
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Today, I was unpacking, so it was a bit of a nightmare. I like my new place a lot. It's small, but it's much higher up, so it's quieter, and far from the street, so you can't see the dirt as much. I don't have a lot of stuff anyways. I'm not one of those synths who hangs on to everything. Andrea is like that, my sister. She never gets rid of anything. But her apartment makes me stressed. As soon as I'm in there, I feel this itch inside my spine like I have to get out of there. I'm going out shopping in a bit, just to pick up cleaning supplies, etc. Until next time.
Interesting.
Work was a nightmare. I don't get along with anyone. I don't know. I thought it would be nice moving to a different city, getting to know new synths, but there's already all these cliques, and everyone's older than me and acts like they know so much. I don't care if you got initialized before the company was even started. That just means you probably have slow cooling systems and cheap knee replacements. I think this one synth in the cubicle across from me really hates me, but she probably hates everyone. It's data entry. There's nothing to be happy about. True that. I purged this entry because I didn't like it much anymore. I think I said some things that were unpleasant to think about and probably worse to read. I'm sorry for anyone who saw it. I take more care in my writing now. I'm feeling better this week. I have Saturday off, so I might do something fun. Someone at work, named Secret for the moment, asked me if I'd like to see a movie sometime. I said yes because I was flattered, but I'm not all that sure. I'd like to see somebody, I guess. Things are going much better. I mean, last week was good too, but this week was less stressful. It's Saturday. I went to the Archival Museum on Hull. The entry fee is cheap on weekends. There's this great room, this huge room just packed with files you can look at. Images and papers and birth certificates and death certificates. Those ones are my favorite. I want to make some more of those. And passports. The papers that organics use to identify themselves. The papers their governments used. I love that kind of thing. I started leafing through this thick file. It was hard because if you don't have polyfor coating, they make you wear these plastic gloves. I found this magazine. It had a pale pink word printed on the cover. I don't remember the word. It must have been the name of the magazine. And I wish I remembered it, but I didn't commit properly anything that I did. I am missing these thick chunks of what happened. I flipped partway through, and I stopped because I saw my name in bold text. My same name, first and last. It was an article about a human, an organic with my same name, and it was about her career. She was, a model, and there was a picture, and I have it. I took it. I tore it out of the magazine and slipped it between the waistband of my skirt and my coating, and I know I shouldn't have, but I did, and I put the file back, and I left, and now I'm at home, writing this. I have the page. There's a picture of her, and her face is my face. I see it every day. I scrub it clean in the mirror, from the dust outside. She's rendered in soft, plush brown and pink, but she's me. My name. My face. I don't know what to do.
Jesus. Oh, whoops, that was a try.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to update this page anymore. I haven't gone out much this week. My sister keeps calling me, but I don't feel like talking on the phone. I had to put the page in a drawer, but I've looked at it a lot. I wish I could throw it away. Something about it makes me feel fitted backwards, if my coating were all peeled off and my wires exposed. I wish I could better explain this. I feel like I'm infinitely small, split down to a single atom, and at the same time, I feel like there's a cavern inside me, an endless pit that I cannot navigate or understand. I'm terrified. I hate everything I wrote. I hate this page.
What?
My name is DU, 6 years PD. Currently working for IcoCell in data entry. Sob. I just moved out of the city where I was deployed, and I'm excited to try new things. I've been keeping a sort of weblog, diary, journal thing, mostly just for me. Although a few cool people have emailed me, you know who you are. If you want to get in touch, please feel free to shoot me a message. Do it.
This one, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Let's see the pictures. Neat.
Can any of them be click on?
Nope.
Oh.